Sugar and cornstarch are cooked together till they become a jelly-like texture. It's enhanced with color, nuts and flavorings, and poured into a tin to set. Once set, it can be cut into pieces and served.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Cravings with Adventures. I'm Karen Ahmed. Today we're going to be making Bombay Halwa, also known as Karachi Halwa. Now in Bombay there used to be a store called Royal Halwa. This used to be my favorite place to go to. Every year before we came back to Canada, I'd pick up a couple of boxes. Sadly, that store closed down and I haven't been able to get my hands on this type of halwa in a long time. So imagine my joy when I learned how to make it. This recipe is super simple. It takes a little bit of elbow grease, but the ingredients are few and all you need to do is put a little bit of love into it and you'll get a bowl of delicious halwa. Before I go any further with this recipe, do make sure you subscribe to my channel and make sure to ring that bell so you're notified every time I upload a new video. Now, let's get cooking.
Let's get all of the prep done. I have some cashew halves that I'm going to reserve for later. I also have 1 tablespoon each of broken cashews, Charmagaaz or melon seeds, pumpkin seeds, and sliced almonds. Leaving the half cashews aside, I'm going to mix up the nuts and the seeds. I'm also going to be using a pinch of saffron. These are the stamens of the crocus flower that are harvested once a year. I have a 7-inch cake tin here and this works perfectly for this quantity of halwa. I'm going to brush this with a thin film of melted ghee. You can set your halwa in anything, Tupperware or even a plate. I have 1 cup of cornstarch here and I'm going to dissolve this in 3 cups of water. This halwa will need to be stirred constantly, anywhere from 45 to 60 minutes. So make sure you have everything ready and handy. In my non-stick pot, I'm going to add 2 cups of sugar. I'm going to follow this with 2 cups of water and I'm going to turn the heat on. I'm just going to stir this to help the sugar dissolve faster. Add the juice of half a lime. Adding citrus to the sugar will prevent sugar crystals from forming later. But I also like the hint of lime flavor in the halwa. It's now time to add the cornstarch mixture. This tends to settle at the bottom, so I'm going to give it a good stir. Add this in. I'm going to add 1 pinch of saffron and I'm going to allow this to infuse. I'm starting to see a few transparent ribbons, so I'm just going to turn the heat down. Now we stir, stir, stir and keep stirring. I like to switch to a spatula as it starts to thicken. Using a spatula is way easier to keep scraping down the sides of the pan. You can see that slowly this is starting to turn translucent.
This is now looking nice and thick, so I'm going to add my first of 4 tablespoons of ghee.
I'm now going to add another tablespoon of ghee.
And another tablespoon of ghee.
This is thickening up really nicely, and now I'm going to add the final tablespoon of ghee and mix it in. This is far from ready, but I like to add the color at this stage so it's easy to mix in. My color of choice is this vibrant orange. I've just mixed up a 1/4 teaspoon of the orange powder with a few drops of water, and I'm going to add it in. Halvas typically come in bright colors, and this is the same color I used in my jalebi video. If you wish to omit the food coloring, you can certainly leave it au natural. You can also use other types of food coloring. I'm going to add half the nuts and seeds, and I'm going to leave the other half for later. Keep stirring and scraping. Like I mentioned, this process is going to take anywhere from 45 to 60 minutes. If you're not sure, you can drop some of the halwa onto a plate and just check it. Quick pick for Instagram. Don't forget to follow me at Karen Ahmed as well as at Cravings Food Adventures. This is looking really thick and sticky now, so I'm ready to take it off the heat and pour it into my greased cake pan. I'm going to add the rest of the nuts and the seeds, and I'm going to decorate with the cashew nut halves. You have to move really quickly when you're doing this because the top can start to set pretty quickly. Leave the halwa to cool till it's barely warm, and then I'm going to run a knife along the edges and flip it over to release. To flip it back, I'm just going to place another board on top of this and flip it again. Of course, you can cut this any way that you like. You can use a ruler or just wing it. This texture will change as it air dries. If you like a more firm and chewy bite like I do, leave it open for a few days to air dry. This recipe is incredible and it is ready to eat.
Thank you so much for joining me on Cravings Food Adventures. I hope you enjoyed this delicious recipe for Bombay or Karachi Halwa. It's really easy to make, and you can make this for your family and friends and they're going to be stunned. Before I leave, make sure you subscribe to my channel, guys. If you like this video, do leave me a comment below. Also, make sure to like the video and share it with your family and friends. And don't forget to ring the bell so you're notified every time I upload a new video. And be sure to follow me behind the scenes on all of my social channels. I upload a lot of behind the scenes footage there. So make sure you're following me on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitter. Until I see you next time, do take care. Bye.